there, YouTube? I'm back again today for another game review. And today, I'm very excited checking out Rat Trap from Tiki Editions. This is for 3 to 5 players. Take about 20 minutes to play, and it's for ages 8+. And in Rat Trap, you're going to be playing as a rat. You're going to be rolling dice. You're going to be trying to avoid cats. You're going to be negotiating and bribing other people as you split dice and try to get cheese in this light family weight game. It's light, it's simple, but is it good? Let's open it up and I'll tell you what I think.
Alrighty then, we're going to take a look at what you're going to get inside of Rat Trap. So, first and foremost, we got our handy dandy rule sheet. It's one big page, double-sided, full of pictures, illustrations, examples, all that good stuff. In fact, the back part is just advanced rules and how you can use the 2-player variant and the special roll cards, which I'll talk briefly about my thoughts and the pros and cons. So all you need is the front, and it's very well done. It should have you up and running in no time at all. It's a very simple game. I can also teach you how to play right now. So in Rat Trap, you are trying to be the first person to end a round with at least 7 pieces of cheese. You're going to get cheese by going into these doorways right here and hopefully getting get cheese while not getting caught in the big rat trap, because if you get caught in the big rat trap, then you're going to get band-aids, and if you get 3 band-aids, then the round will end and you won't score any points. Everyone else will score cheese points, which is of course bad. Now, what you're going to be doing in this game, though, is you're going to be rolling these dice on your turn, and this is somewhat of a negotiation/bribing game, as you are going to give both dice to another player, and then they're going to keep whichever one they want and give you back another one. So it's a lot of talking back and forth, like, hey, you really need a heart, so why don't you take this heart and then give me back this key, and then we'll both be happy, and that person then gets to decide if they want to do that. But let's go over the components. We'll get into the gameplay, and you'll quickly understand what's going on. So first, extra components. We have the roll cards right here, which each have their own distinctive thing that they do when you're playing with those. And it's pretty simple. You just deal those out once per round, and you each have your own special ability. Also over here, this is for the 2-player variant. This will make it so that there is a third rat, an autonomous rat, and he will do things depending on what happens on the die roll and what happens with these cards. It's actually kind of a clean system, but I'll talk more about that a little bit later. Next, you're going to have these, which are Band-Aids and cheese. You will earn these at the end of the round by having cheese cards, and of course you'll get the Band-Aids whenever you get hurt. You have the first player marker, which we pass around. This is for the active rat. It's kind of unnecessary, but still looks pretty cool, so whatever. And then you're going to have your stacks of cards, and you will have as many stacks of cards as you have people playing the game. So we have a 4-player game set up right now. Last but not least, you're going to have 2 dice, and you might have 2 additional dice if you're playing the advanced version of the game, which I really do like. Spoiler. But yeah, you can set those over to the side right now. Also, I wanted to point out that the back of the box, and not the back of the physical box, it's actually a really cool box, is going to help you a little bit when you're trying to figure out what each card does. So it has like the picture there. Granted, you'll probably know it relatively soon, but anywho, on your turn, what you're going to do is you're going to roll 2 dice. And let's go over what the dice do. So a key is going to allow you to open 1 door. So if you had this key, you would just pick one of these, you would look at it, and you'd do what it says. So this one would go face down in front of me, it would earn 2 cheese. This one would prevent me from having to take a bandage later on. So let's say I get caught in a rat trap. Well, luck has shown upon me, and I don't have to take that bandage. And I spend this card when I would be normally taking a bandage to not take a bandage. 1 cheese. This is a rat trap. If this comes up, I have to immediately show it. The rest of the cards I don't flip over and show everybody. But if this comes up, I immediately flip it over and show it, and then I take a band-aid, and as I mentioned, 3 band-aids, and you're out. And that's pretty much, yeah, that's all the cards in the game. You're going to have 4-leaf clovers, you're going to have cheese, and you're going to have rat traps. So let's talk about what the dice do. So, dice are the keys going to let you open a door. 2 keys will let you open 2 doors, but from the same pile. You have to make sure they're from the same pile, because at the beginning of the very setup, you will randomly shuffle these up, but you're also going to make sure that there's 1 rat trap in each of these. So it is somewhat even, but sometimes there can be more or less rat traps in different piles. So yeah, 2 keys. The cat, this one's an interesting one. So if you get the cat, you are going to send the cat to attack someone. You don't physically get attacked by the cat. You're going to say, hey, cat, go attack this person over here. And then that person takes a band-aid. So pretty cool there. This is randomly steal a card from another player. So you'll just kind of randomly, whoop, yoink one card from another player, and those are and a heart is going to allow you to heal one of the band-aids that you already have. And those are the symbols you'll have. So let's see, on your turn, you're going to roll up the 2 dice, and then you're going to talk, be like, hey, well, this case, this is pretty anticlimactic. You're going to give the 2 dice to someone else, and then they're going to keep one and give it back to you. But let's say that you had this right here. So you had 2, and you might say, all right, here's how it's going to work. I'm going to give this to you. I really need these 2 keys now, but next time you need a favor from me, and maybe I'll give you what you want. You know, maybe if you're about to die, I'll give you the heart or something like that. So that person then takes it. They might break that negotiation. They might break the deal or they might keep the deal, but either way, they're going to pass back and die. In this case, they broke the deal. So now this person over here is going to draw 2. So let's just see. They got a 4-leaf clover. This is secret, and they got 2 cheese, so they put that face down in front of them because it's all secret. And this person right here would say, they didn't get a rat trap, so you know what? I don't want to go to that pile. I'm going to go right here, and I got that. I got a 4-leaf clover. They're obviously not going to say that, and then they pass the dice to the next person. Pretty self-explanatory. You're going to continue to do that until someone has 3 band-aids, at which point the round will end, and everyone will collect the number of cheese that they have in face-down cards in front of them, and then lose all their cards, except for the person who had 3 band-aids, or until 2 piles completely run out. Once 2 piles completely run out, you'll do the same thing. Everyone's going to get points via cheese tokens. If anyone has 7 points, then they will win the game. And if not, you'll play another round. And that, in a nutshell, is how you're going to play Rat Trap. But I do want to talk about this particular variant right here. So in this particular variant, you're actually going to roll all 4 dice, and you are going to pass out the white dice to one partner and the black dice to one partner, and then you are going to keep whichever 2 of the dice that come back to you. So you're going to say, all right, which one of these do I want to do? And you only get to do one of them. It's a very interesting variant, and it keeps more people involved in the game. But that, in a nutshell, is what you're going to do in Rat Trap.
Alrighty then, Rat Trap from Tiki Editions. What are my final thoughts? Let's go with the pros, let's go with the cons. First, on the con side, game's not going to be for everybody for a variety of different reasons. 3 to 5 players, a little bit of a restricted player count. Also, the 2-player version of the game is not the best. I tried it, I was like, this is just not for me. It was a little bit too random in my personal opinion. But that being said, they don't actually mention the 2-player version on the box. So that's actually a big pro for me. The fact that they included that 2-player variant and then said, hey, you know, we could put that this is a 2-player game on the box, which might get us more sales, but we're not going to do that because we know the 2-player version of the game is weaker than the 3 to 5 player version of the game. So in essence, that's a big pro. So big thumbs up to Tiki Editions for doing that. Most companies would not do that. Most would just slap that 2 on the box and say, hey, it goes 2 players with this special cards. And I'm really glad they didn't do that. Any other cons I have with the game? It's going to be a little bit repetitive because you're just going to be rolling dice and then giving them to somebody else, and then they split them, and then just doing that over and over and over again, especially if you're just playing the vanilla version of the game. I would have liked to have seen more roll cards. I mean, I know they are an advanced rules / alternate way to play, but I still would have liked to see more of them because they're really interesting, and I do like them. I also worry just ever so slightly about the balance of them. Some feel like they're slightly better than other ones, but that being said, you're going to get a new one at the end of each round, so it's not a huge deal if they're slightly imbalanced, at least in my personal opinion, especially with a family game. The imbalance doesn't bother me nearly as much. If this were like a complex 40 minutes to 2 hours sort of game where it's much more meaty, then it might bug me a little bit more, but in a 20-minute game, it didn't bug me as much. I really don't have too many cons with this game at all, because moving on to the pros, I think this is a great game, and I think this is a very easy recommendation. This is one that I'm going to be keeping on my shelf, and it's going to be staying in my classroom, but honestly, I think I could get it played at home as well as a game night game. So first and foremost, this is a chameleon game. I played it with adults. We really dug it. It doesn't outstay its welcome. I mentioned that it can be repetitive, but it's so short that it doesn't have that problem, which I like. I also like the fact that there's 2 advanced versions of the game that you can mix and match in, and I like both of them. I really like the one where you're passing out the black and white dice, because that makes some really interesting choices, and you really have to be paying attention to who's in first and who's in last, or who you think is doing well and who you think is not doing well, and I like that aspect of the game. I also like the rolls. I like the rolls an awful lot as well. I like the fact that they included that 2-player variant, even though I'm not a big fan of the 2-player variant, without putting that on the box. I want to mention that again, the that's a huge thumbs up. I like the graphic design in this game. I like the artwork in this game. I like how easy this game is to learn and how easy it is to teach. I brought it in my classroom. I played it with 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11-year-olds, and they really dug the game. And this is kind of like my first negotiation / my first bribing game. And the kids were like, oh my gosh, you're just trying to bribe everybody. And I really dug that. It just tore at them so much, the fact that sometimes they had to backstab their best friends. Like, it's like, oh my gosh, I'm so close to winning the game, and you gave me 2 keys and 1 key, and it's like, well, I'm taking the 2 keys, and sometimes that can backfire when you get those rat traps, and I really like that an awful lot. I think this is a great family game. I think this is a great game for kids as young as 7 years old. I think this is a great game night filler game. I played it with adults. The adults enjoyed it as well, especially when we added the black and white dice. And in the end, I can very easily recommend Rat Trap. It's a small box, which is great as well. It's not going to take up too much shelf space. It's actually a really nifty box. I like how they did the box insert. You got like this little hole, and you push it out, which I've never seen in other games do. I think it's a really great idea. Rules are short, concise, simple, and in the end, Rat Trap, very easy recommendation. I think this is a great game, one I'm going to be keeping for a very long time. Be sure to check this one out. It looks like it might be your cup of tea. If you enjoyed this review, please be sure to click on that subscribe button down below. In the comments below, let me know. Would you rather have 20 mice in your house, so you have a big mouse infestation, or 1 rat? Oh my gosh. As terrible as 20 mice is going to be, because you know they're going to be, breeding and stuff, I still got to go with the 1 rat. There's no way I want that. I'll take the 20 mice over the 1 rat, because I just don't want rats. Dear God, no. No rats. Even if it's just 1. Because, still, you could trap it. Man, that's a really hard question. Because my head is saying, oh God, those mouse are going to be breeding. But then at the same time, my heart's like, oh dear God, a rat. That's terrifying. I don't want a rat. Rats are big, gigantic. I think practically I would go with the rat, because all you need is 1 trap. You just need 1 trap to kill it. You go to the store, you get a boatload of rat traps, like rat traps everywhere, and hopefully in one night that rat will be caught. But at the same time, man, you just don't want a rat running around your house. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the 1 rat. But I tell you what, if it was 10 mice, I would take the 10 mice. I think 20 is just too much. 20 is just way too much. But 10 mice, I would take that. Because while they can breed, I think I could kill them fast enough that I could stop 10 mice. But 20 mice, I think that's just too many. Let me know in the comments below. This is about as long as the review. 20 mice in your house or 1 rat in your house. Which one do you want? As always, thanks for your time, YouTube.